Hey everyone! Before we dive in, if you enjoy real-life stories, a quick like on this video would mean the world to me. It really helps more people find these stories, and trust me, you're not going to want to miss what happens in this one. It all started with a casual dinner conversation. Lori looked at me with those wide, innocent eyes and said, "Hey babe, my cousin Mark might come stay with us for a couple weeks. He's going through a rough patch." I blinked. "Cousin Mark? From which side?" She hesitated. "My dad's. You've never met him. It's been years." I didn't love the idea, but I agreed. What else could I do? Mark showed up 2 days later, and right away, something felt off. Tall, confident, way too smooth. He didn't seem down on his luck. He seemed right at home. He gave me this cocky grin, shook my hand, and said, "Appreciate the place, man." I brushed it off, trying to be polite, but there was an instant tension. He and Lori got along a little too well. Constant laughter. Inside jokes I didn't understand. They shared long looks and little touches that felt strange, way too familiar. And the guest room? Always spotless. Bed perfectly made. No laundry. No signs of life. Meanwhile, I'd hear footsteps in the hall late at night. Once, I got up at 2 a.m. and swore I heard two voices, whispering in our bedroom. When I asked Lori, she brushed it off. "You're being paranoid. Mark's just neat." But I wasn't stupid. Her phone was suddenly locked and glued to her hand. She'd take it everywhere, even to the bathroom. She stopped texting me during the day, stopped sharing anything. I caught her once laughing at something on her screen, then quickly hiding it when I walked in. Mark barely acknowledged me. If I walked into a room, the energy shifted, like I was interrupting something private. Everything in me was screaming that something wasn't right, but I kept second-guessing myself, because the alternative meant that the woman I married had brought another man into my home and lied about who he really was. And looking back, I ignored every red flag waving in my face like a damn parade. One night after work, I came home a bit earlier than usual. Walked into the living room, and there they were. Lori is sitting on the floor. Mark is behind her, rubbing her shoulders. She jumped like a kid caught stealing cookies. "Oh, it's not what it looks like," she blurted. I had a stiff neck. Mark offered to help. I stood there, blinking. My blood pressure spiked, but I forced a fake smile. Sure, looked pretty helpful. They laughed it off, but inside, I was screaming. After that, things only got weirder. I noticed Mark never had laundry. Ever. No dirty clothes in the hamper, no towels used in the guest bathroom. It was like he didn't exist in that room at all. So I started paying attention. Real close. That guest room bed? Always made, not a wrinkle. Pillows fluffed like a showroom. But our bedroom? Sheets must. 2 coffee mugs on the nightstand instead of 1. Then I noticed Lori started showering late at night, right after Mark. That was never her routine. But now it was like clockwork. And the weirdest part? She was suddenly glowing, wearing makeup around the house, buying new lingerie and acting like I wasn't supposed to notice. I asked her, "Date night?" She smiled. "Just wanted to feel pretty again." Not for me, she didn't. And her phone? Completely off limits now. Locked. Glued to her hand. Even when she was asleep, it was under her pillow like a damn security blanket. I could feel it. Something was happening, right under my roof, right in front of my eyes. But I still didn't want to believe it, because the second I did, that would mean my whole marriage, everything I thought was real, was a lie, and I wasn't ready for that. Not yet. It all came crashing down one Thursday night. I'd been sleeping lighter than usual lately. Too many red flags. Too much tension. That night I woke up around 1:30 a.m. The bed beside me was empty. At first I thought maybe Lori was in the bathroom. But after 5 minutes, still no sign of her. So I got up, patted down the hallway, and heard something. Soft giggling coming from the living room. I rounded the corner, and there they were. Lori and cousin Mark, sitting way too close on the couch, lit only by the glow of the TV. She was wearing one of my old shirts and nothing else. His hand was on her thigh. They didn't see me at first, but I froze. I stood there, watching them for what felt like hours, paralyzed, numb, furious. Then Mark leaned in and kissed her, and just like that, the lie shattered. I stepped forward. Interesting way to bond with your cousin, huh? They jumped like they'd been electrocuted. Lori's face drained of color. Mark stood up fast, trying to play it cool. Man, it's not what you think. I cut him off. Save it. I knew. I've known for weeks. I just wanted to see how far you'd go. Lori stood there, stammering, trying to throw together some half-baked excuse. I didn't mean for it to happen, Jimmy. It was just, he was going through so much. We were just talking and I laughed. Cold, bitter, broken. You brought your ex-boyfriend into our home. Lied to my face. Let him sleep under the same roof while I paid the bills and trusted you. She tried to reach for me. I stepped back. Don't. Just don't. It was in that moment I realized I wasn't angry anymore. I was done. The betrayal was too deep. The lies, too deliberate. The disrespect, unforgivable. And this was the beginning of the end. If you are still here, please hit that like button. It helps a lot for the future of the channel. Lori followed me into the kitchen barefoot and panicked, spewing excuses faster than she could breathe. Jimmy, please. It wasn't supposed to go this far. I didn't mean for it to happen. I turned, staring at her like she was a stranger. You didn't mean for it to happen? You lied to my face. You said he was your cousin. You let that man stay here, eat my food, sleep under my roof, while you snuck around like I was blind. She covered her face and cried like her tears could erase the truth. But I wasn't moved. I'd been loyal. I'd trusted her. And now, I felt like a fool. Mark, to his credit, or lack of it, didn't even try to apologize. He just grabbed his duffel bag and mumbled, "Guess I'll head out." Lori snapped at him. "No, don't leave. This isn't about you. It's, Jimmy, can we please just talk? Talk? After weeks of deception?" I stared her down. Was it just once? She hesitated. That pause, that tiny hesitation, told me everything. I don't know how many times. It wasn't planned. I stepped back like she'd slapped me. She wasn't even denying it. She just kept repeating that tired line. It wasn't supposed to happen, but cheating never is, right? She tried spinning it into some emotional excuse. You've been so distant lately, always working, always tired. And when Mark came, he listened. He made me feel seen. My jaw clenched. So your solution was to sneak your ex into our home and pretend he was family? She said nothing. And in that silence, it hit me. This wasn't a one-time mistake. This was calculated, premeditated. She didn't just break my heart. She planned it, invited the man she once loved back into our life, and kept it all under wraps with a lie about family. I walked past her, grabbed my keys, and said one thing. You chose him. You chose this. And now you get to live with it. She begged me not to leave, but for the first time in weeks, I had clarity. I wasn't going to fight for someone who never fought for me. Now here's what I did. When I left that night, I didn't just drive around to cool off. I drove straight to her mom's house, because if Lori was going to lie, manipulate, and cheat like it was a sport, then I was going to make damn sure everyone who thought she was such a sweet girl saw her for what she really was. The next morning, I posted a photo on Facebook, a picture of Lori and Mark, cuddled on the couch, the one I snapped right before I confronted them. No caption, just 3 words, meet her cousin. Within hours, the comments were on fire. Old friends, family, even coworkers chiming in. Wait, I thought Mark was her ex? She said he was her cousin? WTF? Dude, I am so sorry, that's insane. But I didn't stop there. I called Lori's boss, told him her live-in relative was actually a long-term affair partner, and that she'd been calling in sick to spend time comforting family. Her job? Gone within a week. Turns out, her company had strict rules about misusing sick leave. Oops, and Mark? Well, funny story. His actual girlfriend found out thanks to my post. She DM'd me, asking if it was true. Mark lost both his girl and his backup plan in one day. Poetic Lori, meanwhile, was blowing up my phone, texts, voicemails, DMs. She even tried leaving notes on my windshield. All the same flavor. Please, let's talk. You didn't have to destroy me like this. We can fix this, Jimmy. Fix what? My marriage? My trust? My dignity? No. What she destroyed wasn't fixable. She thought she could play both sides. Thought I'd be too blind, too loyal to ever find out. She was wrong. Because once I saw the truth, there was no turning back. Lori lit the match. I just made sure everyone watched the fire, and I walked away from the ashes. After everything went public, Lori tried desperately to control the narrative. She told anyone who would listen that I overreacted, that it was just emotional cheating, that we could have worked it out if I'd been more mature. But nobody was buying it. Not her friends, not her family, not even her co-workers. What few still spoke to her. Word spread fast. People she used to call her best friends started ghosting her. Wedding invitations, canceled, baby showers, uninvited. The only person still standing next to her was Mark, and even he wasn't sticking around for long. Turns out, when the drama settled and the dust cleared, Mark wasn't interested in being her knight in shining armor. He packed up and left town less than a month later, moved back in with his real girlfriend, the one who eventually forgave him after enough begging. Lori, she was stuck alone in the same apartment where we built our life, alone with the rent she couldn't afford on a single paycheck. She tried reaching out to me again, pretending like none of it happened. Hey stranger, hope you're doing okay. She showed up at my gym once, teary-eyed and apologetic, claiming she'd made a mistake and wanted to start fresh. I didn't even stop walking, didn't even look at her, because by then, I wasn't angry anymore. I was free. Her life, the one she thought she could wreck and walk away from untouched, was crumbling around her, and every time she tried to claw her way back into my world, she found a locked door and a cold shoulder. It wasn't revenge anymore. It was justice. Real, raw, unstoppable justice. Because sometimes karma doesn't just knock. Sometimes it kicks the door in and drags you out into the street for everyone to see. And Lori? She earned every second of it. It's been months now. My life looks different, and honestly, it feels lighter, quieter, peaceful in a way I didn't know I needed. I've moved into a new place, started over, focused on myself for the first time in years. I'm hitting the gym, going out with real friends and rebuilding who I was before the lies. And Lori? She's still trying to rewrite the past, still telling half-truths to anyone who will listen, but no one's buying it anymore, because people remember the receipts. They remember what she did. And I'm not bitter anymore, because in the end, I got something she never will. Freedom. See, when someone betrays you, it's not just about the act, it's about the choice. She chose to lie, chose to gaslight me, chose to sleep with her ex under my roof and call him family. And when people show you who they are, believe them. I used to think love meant giving someone endless chances. Now I know love means knowing when to walk away. It means having enough self-respect to stop bleeding for someone who wouldn't even offer you a Band-Aid. So to anyone out there who's ignoring the red flags, let me say this clearly. Trust your gut. Don't wait for the proof to explode in your face. And don't ever let someone confuse your loyalty with weakness. Because the minute I stopped fighting for her, I started fighting for me. And I've never looked back. If you made it this far, drop a comment in the comments so I know you're one of the real ones. Share your own cheating exposed stories. I might feature yours next. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. New stories every week that prove one thing: you never really know who you married until the mask slips.